Hello friends, it's Wild Willie, your personal guide to outdoor adventure. It's so good to be back with you all again, and of course here with me always is stupid Jeffrey. Jeffrey's been my best friend for a long time, several years now, probably 50, close to 50 years, and in that time he hadn't gotten a bit smarter. He's just as dumb as he was the first time I met him. Now a lot of people have been asking me to tell a little bit about Jeffrey, and so Jeffrey and I, we're out hiking in the woods today and doing a little looking around. Now what we're filming, and you probably see a little bit of movement of the camera, and I'm a little closer than I normally would be to the camera, but what you're seeing is another one of them, they're shelfies that we've been hearing about, and I still can't figure out why they call it a shelfie, other than maybe you set your camera on a shelf, as I explained in one of my earlier videos. But I don't have a shelf. We're out here in the woods. You can kind of see down behind me here. There's a trail right down there that we've come across, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a minute. But me and stupid Jeffrey, we decided to come out for a hike, and so while we're on this hike, I wanted to stop and just kind of give you a little bit of outdoor adventure. First of all, Jeffrey, we don't really know where he came from. Jeffrey was found on the doorstep of the well, most of the time they leave babies on the doorstep of a church or something like that, but Jeffrey was found on the doorstep of the local phone company. We're not sure why somebody left him there, but anyway, he got left there on the steps of the phone company, and the operators took him in, and they kept him as a pet for a while, and he got big and got to chewing on things, so they finally turned him over to, there was a local family there, had a bunch of children and raised hogs and stuff, and so they took Jeffrey in and raised him up, and that's how Jeffrey and I met. We lived next door, not next door, but the next farm over, and so I got acquainted with Jeffrey, and we've kind of been friends ever since. So that's where Jeffrey came from. Anyway, and we both grew up right here in Southwest Missouri, where it's not heaven, but it's a local call from here. Anyway, so we're out in the woods hiking, and we've come across a trail, and we've been doing a little studying. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but trails were invented right here in Southwest Missouri. They were invented by the deer. There used to be lots of deer here, still is, but there was a whole bunch of deer, and so they decided it was too much trouble just wandering out through the woods, so they decided to create trails so they'd have somewhere to walk. And so the deer down here created trails here in Southwest Missouri. And that's how trails got invented here. Now, Jeffrey and I, we've been studying this trail. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but right there at the base of that big cedar tree right there, there's a trail runs this way, long ways across through there, and we've been looking at the prints and the rubbings and stuff, and we got out. Now Jeffrey and I are expert trailers. Trackers, we call them. And now, I don't know if you know this or not, but tracking was invented right here in Southwest Missouri by the local Indian tribe. There were some Delaware Indians that lived in this part of the world, and they invented tracking. And so anyway, we have a boat here called a tracker that's named after what those Indians invented, I think. So anyway, we've been studying this trail, and we've been tracking it, and we've been looking at the prints and stuff, like I said, and the rubbings and whatnot along the trail there. And it is our best expert guess that this is probably a polar bear trail. We've studied the prints and everything that's gone on there, and so we're believing that this is probably a polar bear trail. Probably polar bears been migrating through here on their way south during the winter. You may not know this, but polar bears were invented right here in Southwest Missouri, and so they started here. Well, later they moved north, and because they were able to hide a little better in the white snow, because they are white. And so they moved on north. Well, now every year they get homesick, and so every year they migrate south through here, and they come down along these trails. And then when they get all warm and it gets too hot down there, they start migrating north. Now it's just about migration season for them to go back north. It's really early Well, it's late winter here still in Missouri. I don't know if you know this or not, but winter was invented right here in southwest Missouri. There's a little town just south of here. I think I've told you about a friend of mine named Jack Frost and his wife Priscilla Pumpkin, and they invented winter down there he was sitting on top of Priscilla, and when somebody came by, they said, "Look, there's frost on the pumpkin." And that's how winter got invented. So for those of you who haven't watched our earlier video, just a little update there. But anyway, so the bears, they come down here, the polar bears, and they stay for the summer, or I mean for the winter. And when it starts getting too warm, they start heading back north. So they're just about ready to probably start heading north again. And now there's no open season on polar bears here in Missouri. We're not able to shoot them on the way by. However, if they attack you, then here's a little safety tip. Now, if you're out in the woods like Jeffrey and I are today, stupid Jeffrey here, if you're out in the woods and hiking along and you come across a polar bear, there's several things that you can do, but always have a buddy with you, and always make sure he's like stupid Jeffrey. And so what you do is, if the bear gets after you, you pick up a stick. Now listen, I'm telling you, the bear experts are trying to warn us against this, but they are wrong. You pick up a big stick, the biggest one you can find real quick, and you hit stupid Jeffrey right in the back of the head with it. He will go down, and while he's down wallering around, screaming and crying and carrying on, you take off running, and you're home before that polar bear even figures out that you're gone. And we just let stupid Jeffrey worry about it. So anyway, we're like I said, we're out hiking, and we're going to get back with it. The Menace, Jeffrey's new wife, Menace, and Crazy Cora back home, and they're expecting us to be back pretty soon. And we've been gone a little bit longer than we probably should. Now, our next video, we're going to talk to you about one of Missouri's favorite springtime pastimes, and that is hunting mushrooms. And if you've watched one of our earlier videos, you know that you got to be careful about those mushrooms. But we're going to go mushroom hunting, I think, in our next video, or maybe a couple videos from now. But anyway, this is Wild Willie and stupid Jeffrey over there. Jeffrey, stop chewing on that cedar tree. He's an idiot. Anyway, Jeffrey and I, this is Wild Willie and stupid Jeffrey saying, get out and have your own great outdoor adventure. See you next time.